using a very old material, concrete, which has existed for thousands of years, invented by the Romans. We start with a pile of rock, aggregates, pile of sand, some lime powder, cement powder, water, stir it all together, and then we make buildings, we make bridges, we make culverts for roads, we allow roads to be built. You look at the structures that people are living in, working in, playing in. We are building the spaces in which people inhabit.
Strescon is a concrete company. We have 3 divisions: precast concrete, concrete pipe, and ready-mix concrete. We produce bridge girders, parking garages, manholes, and catch basins.
Precast is a way to build a building off-site, manufacture the components in a factory environment, and then deliver them and install them. The advantage, of course, of doing that is that you're not trying to pour concrete and cure concrete in the climate that we live.
We can deliver a higher quality product because we're in a controlled environment.
We also make architectural precast panels. Architectural precast is not only a structural element, but it also is a visual element for an architect for the appearance of a building.
I can't think of a building that isn't built with a concrete foundation, but concrete is more than that. It can be beautiful.
We express what an architect has come to us with. They have a vision of what a building should look like, and we help them accomplish that in terms of color, form, and texture. My name is Hans Clone, and I'm the president of Strescon. My father started making concrete panels in 1956.
My name is Don Eisner. I'm the Vice President and General Manager of Strescon. My father and Hans's father started in a warehouse and produced wall panels for buildings.
Don Sr. joined my father when my father set up the construction company at Ocean Steel and Construction with Casey Irving. In 1956, an opportunity came up to make some panels.
The architects had selected precast concrete wall panels for the cladding system. My father and Hans's father, they kind of looked and said, well, I think we could do that.
Business grew to the point where it should have its own identity, so we named it Strescon Limited.
All aspects of this business have changed over time. Technologies have changed, ways of doing things have changed, people have changed. We've always tried to be on the leading edge and not the bleeding edge, always looking at new technologies and when does it make sense to adopt those technologies.
When it came to 3D modeling, nothing really existed in North America, so we had to develop it on our own.
Really, that was an effort that Hans started. He said, we don't have that in concrete. We should have that in concrete. That's the future.
3D modeling is a way to virtualize what a building will look like in space so that you could show a customer exactly what it is that we're going to give them.
We had to come up with some way to cut our costs and differentiate ourselves from the others. And this 3D modeling has allowed us to do that.
You can translate that into a design. You can send that design into the plant, and then you can send that visualization into the field so that the people installing it can see exactly how it fits together. Now, because we have a 3D modeling system, we can participate with the architect and all the other mechanical, electrical, structural people to show them what we're doing, and we can see what they're doing.
I would say definitely you can drop it in. It's designed to be proud to avoid all that, but to bring it flush is not a problem.
My name is Brendan Clancy. I'm the contracts manager for Strescon Limited. During my education, I took a Bachelor in Science Engineering, Mechanical Engineering. I never really wanted to be a number crunching engineer, so I always did envision myself doing some sort of project management. I got hired on here as a project manager. That's what I started fresh out of school. Just through natural progressions here in the company and opportunities, I became the contracts manager. I've been in this role for about 4.5 years, and who knows where it'll go from there. We're highly encouraged to always be looking for new opportunities, whether it's a new learning opportunity, a new way of doing an old process, a new technology, a new piece of hardware.
My name is Rebecca Patterson, and I am the plant engineer at Strescon Limited. I have worked here 10 years. It's all logistics. It's managing what is the highest priority to keep the production crews going.
It looks like there's a conflict.
Are we able to lift product in time to get our crews in the beds and working efficiently? Are we able to have the hardware ordered here and fabricated in time? Are we meeting our delivery schedule?
Fortunately, we have a lot of young people. My instructions to them were to go and look at the process, see what we're doing, and does it make sense to you? And if it doesn't make sense to you, then we better look at changing how we're doing it. When I started university, in engineering school, every engineer had a slide rule. And when I left university, no one used a slide rule. They all used calculators. And we don't want to be a slide rule company. We want to be the guys that made the calculators.
Although there's a lot of technology that's being introduced, a piece of equipment will never replace what people are doing with their hands. It's like a chef making a cake. The craftsmanship that is in our product will always be there. And we love to bring in the next generation and pass on the institutional knowledge that we have.
I'm Phil Thompson. I've worked for Strescon for the last 43 years. My passion for panels and wanting them to be good and wanting them to be right go back to the days of Don Eisner Sr. The form has to be perfect. Concrete takes the shape of what it's poured into. So if that form's not right, that panel can't be right. For me to be really satisfied, I don't want to see ripples or waves. There should be no imperfections. It all comes down to quality. Maybe that's something Don Eisner Sr. pounded into me when he'd tell me that's not good enough, it has to be better. Have I ever made the perfect panel? Damn right I have. And more than once.
When we think of business like Strescon, how we take some very ancient building materials and through the use of creativity and innovation and technology, we've made it relevant to the 21st century. What it does is it takes those simple raw materials and a whole bunch of imagination and skill, and we can make almost anything.